It's time for your Talk Time Live exclusive.
You are now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the season of Given, I can't be more thankful than to have our next guest. He is the voice of many of your favorite anime and video game characters, including Ryu from Street Fighter, Captain Aizen, the evil Captain Aizen from Bleach, Adult Gohan from the Dragon Ball series, and recently the pro hero known as Fatgum from My Hero Academia. His name is Kyle Hebert, and he is making his fourth grand appearance on the show to catch up on his recent ventures and much more. Kyle, welcome back to Talk Time Live.
Dax, dude, it's great to be here. Do I get like a gold star or is there some reward?
You're at that status right now. You're really at the status. There's a few people that is making that status. Actually, one person that might actually got ahead of you, but you're making that platinum status at this point.
Dude, that's great. I'm going to get like priority check-in, first class seats, free baggage.
And I'll definitely make sure you get a better royalty check.
Thank you. Yeah. Totes my goats.
So thank you for coming back. And by the way, this is the first time we actually visually seen each other. Like the first time I talked to you, I spoke with you was like 2014 when you made it to Philadelphia. That was the first interview I've ever had. You were at South Street Diner with me.
Yeah.
And I got to meet you. I got to meet your lovely Christina, which by the way, I haven't talked to you guys since. Congratulations on getting married.
Yes. It's been a minute, huh? Yeah. We got married and we've just been sitting out the whole pandemic. We do that whole Amazon Instacart thing, Postmates to have food delivered, staying indoors as much as possible. Sometimes I do go out, but I keep it to recording studios with a good cleaning protocol. And if there's absolutely something I got to go get right now, we can't wait for Amazon to have a whole day to wait. Ooh.
The times that we live in, right?
Oh, for sure.
But no, I'm glad to have you back because you've been doing a hell of a lot since we last talked.
We're doing a few things.
You weren't even playing characters that you're playing now back when last time we spoke. Street Fighter 6, wishful thinking. Street Fighter 5 just came out. That's how far ago. So new gen of gaming came and all this stuff. So now despite everything that has happened in 2020, you and other actors were able to persevere while continuing to do voice roles and, in the event of the pandemic. Were you able to, and I think feel like this is a dumb question in my behalf. Do you feel like that you were able to assimilate and adjust to the changes smoothly, or was it a bit of a challenge to you to, do voice work at home?
Well, for me and my wife, we're both homebodies anyway.
Yeah.
We don't go to a lot of parties. It's like, do we have to people today? And we do miss going to the theater. Oh my God, you can't replicate, especially in IMAX. And the experience of having the popcorn and sitting in the nice plush seats and having that thing, you can't replicate it just by popping on Apple Plus or Paramount or Netflix. It's like, okay, well, that was fun. That was a good movie. Okay. It's just
there are some pros and cons, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, you're saving money,
right?
But what's the thing? So yeah, with voice acting, that industry has been able to thrive and continue to flourish because we were able to take the technological advances and bring it and adapt it to everyone's home recording setup.
Right.
In some cases, everyone was already up to snuff with a good broadcast quality setup. Others had to make an investment. Mm-hmm. I bought a new preamp, but I've been working with my Neumann TLM 103 for years. This thing is just a powerhouse that a lot of pro studios use. And I just sit here with my iMac and I record with Adobe Audition, and we're using apps that connect us to digital studios like Source Connect or Session Link Pro, things like that. And we dub to the video by looking at Skype or Zoom.
Right.
And there's hiccups sometimes. There's tech glitches everywhere, like with anything. You can have the most perfect high speed broadband, but there's still hiccup. We gotta do it again. And we're doing recording backups on our side and uploading them through the cloud and all that. So studios are continuing as you've seen, with all the quick return of shows on Crunchyroll, Funimation, Netflix, and whatnot, live action dubs. A lot of the LA anime talent pool are now doing a lot of live action shows, and the games, of course, that's still flourishing. And yeah, so business wise hasn't really changed except for the cons going away. That was a kick to the gut for many people, not just for a social reason,
Right.
For economic reasons, for the artist out there who kind of, we kind of need that. That
it
income.
was really, evident in 2020. I was very empathetic for you guys back in 2020. I'm glad to see that it's slowly but surely coming back. And I would say Repop did really well with how they prepared everything in New York Comic Con this year.
Oh, good.
I thought it was absolutely awesome. Especially, I don't know if you heard about what happened at Anime New York.
No.
Anime NYC had in the Javits Center, the same place as New York Comic Con. Just recently, this past Friday, there was some convoluted situations and structures in terms of the actual lines and setup and volunteers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of people were waiting outside for 5 hours just to get in on day one.
Ooh.
That means panels were delayed or canceled. That means people were out in 36-degree weather because they were trying to figure out the vaccination bans and everything. I felt bad for the people who only got day one deals. And it happened in the same place that New York Comic Con is happening.
Oh man.
I saw you could go, if you go hashtag anime New York City lines, you'll see pictures all over people just waiting out there I can't even fathom.
In the freezing cold, the polar
freezing
opposite
cold
of like Anime Expo over here during the summer, July 4th weekend, the lines go on for hours in the heat. And I don't know what's worse.
This is not like waiting out for Hall H. Okay?
No.
This is not that type of fun line. This is like people were waiting for a fluid transition, and it unfortunately didn't happen to that road. And I really felt bad for them. But with that said, that was the only one con that I've actually heard that had that hiccup. Every other con that I've heard that's been opened up, I heard no real problems in that situation. I hope they won't be again. But it's great to see that a lot of them are starting to assimilate to the structures and everything. And so it's going to take a while.
Yeah. I've been doing cons since the early summer. Things have picked up slowly but surely, and different depending on the state. Some people have you have to absolutely wear a mask, or others are like, I don't care. I go to Florida or Texas, and it's like, what's a mask? And like,
good God.
But I'm still wearing mine, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to be safe,
right?
Just in case, and I'm vaccinated, so it's like,
right.
I'm still doing that. And some cons were really cool. They had a plastic separator, like you see at the grocery store or a bank
exactly
teller.
Yeah,
and that's great. And so much hand sanitizer, we probably cleared out all the grocery stores. After every
you're transparent at this point.
Yeah, I'm signing a piece of paper or my print, putting it, and then okay, and next, okay, and okay, great, nice to see you.
Right.
Hey, fist bump, and okay. Just doing it. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Right. So with that said, going back to the studio part, are you now more comfortable doing the studio work at home, or do you still prefer to do, go to the actual studios, the sound studios?
Well, I do like face-to-face time with the people, of course, the directors and the other actors that you pass in the halls. Of course, that's great. But you get to shave off all the drive time, the traffic,
absolutely.
Hey, I'm sitting at home. Clothes are optional. Honestly, I can roll out of bed, come in here into the closet, and just start rolling.
Right,
love that. I'm very spoiled by it.
What's awesome too is that I've watched. I have the Funimation subscription as well, so I hear you all the time, or I have Netflix and I hear you on the seven Deadly Sins or whatever like that. You cannot tell. I hate to hear pretentious people act so uppity about whether they feel like they know when somebody's, the quality of, you don't know. You had no idea that they were in Closet Studios this whole entire time. It sounds exactly the same as it did when they were in studio, whether they were in studio in Texas or whatever, or New York or not. So you guys, I actually, and I've said this many times to other people that I've, I've interviewed or whatever. You guys did a tremendous job during the pandemic in terms of getting the voice work done where you had to get it. And when I watched Toonami, it sounded phenomenal. So kudos to all of you.
And kudos to the engineers. They're the ones really picking up the slack
Yes.
for us because everyone's in a different recording environment. Everyone's using different mics.
Yeah.
And they have to work some magic by importing all of our tracks
Right.
into Pro Tools and maybe run a pass by on trying to just smooth it out and all that. So their workload has increased. They can't stand it. They wish we could come back in. And there are some actors that definitely prefer to just have the technical side totally taken off of them. And I respect that too, because like what if you're running a backup and they say, can you send the backup? And like, oh, I forgot to hit record.
And even furthermore, even to that sense, I talked with Steve Bloom at one point, and he had a whole rig set up where like he was doing motion capture. So you guys went in deep and by any means possible to get this done. So it's pretty awesome just to see that you guys are able to persevere that way. So
it is amazing, the pride and the passion of the community and the studios. There's some studios that built mobile rigs because they were very, very dependent upon having a consistent sound. So they made these mobile rigs all with the same mics and processing and mic stands and all that stuff, and then they direct us online. We just plug in and do all that, and they'll even do it with their established long distance talent. It's like, we're going to mail you the rig, have you record, mail the rig back to us. And it's like, wow, that's a thing. And so what I honestly don't know, and I do love it here in California, but the cost of living, oh my God. You move anywhere else. Like I'm from Texas. Of course, the cost of living is going up there now because everyone from California is migrating to Texas or whatnot.
Right. And Funimation Studios is in Texas, right?
It is in Dallas, and there are people from LA that have moved from LA to Texas, and it's like, wow, that says something. Right. Now, as far as I know, there are a lot of opportunities in studios opening up, but what is the long-term effect? Like, are we going to have to deal with COVID every winter? Is it really going to matter where we're living now that we have the ability to record from home? Because if that's the case, no one really has to be living where the work is anymore, because the work is it's online.
Right.
And if you have a strong enough internet connection and you have a professional broadcast quality studio, why not?
Absolutely. That's why I really appreciate the benefits. I mean, I work at home all the time too, but like, again, like you said, what I'm doing shows like this with you here, and I just recently updated my bandwidth, so everything's running smoothly. It's so comfortable. It's the state of mind, the state of comfort and tranquility of knowing that you can not only do your job, but you can do it with, in a peaceful sense, So
I think a lot of businesses learn that too. It's like, especially some small people, it's like, we don't really have to rent corporate space in a building. We could literally do everything from home and save so much overhead.
Google recently did that, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Google was one of the places that I think did that. They still had the brick and mortar, but like otherwise, if you wanted to stay home, which I would have done instantly, like, when I used to work corporate, I would love to just answer phones at home or whatever like that. I would have loved it. So.
Yeah, and it's great. You're home, and I mean, I do feel, I feel sorry and empathy for the parents, with the kids and having to homeschool or finding some sort of alternative to make it work as the classes are closed, and how do you do your day job and take care of the kids? So hats off to the parents out there.
Absolutely.
Making it work.
One of the recent characters that you actually portray is My Hero Academia's fan favorite pro hero Fatgum. Everybody loves this character. I mean, you go to cons everywhere, you see Fatgum cosplay. I was at the like I said, I was at New York Comic Con, so I was there for the My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission panel. 5,000 people in there, and damn it, you saw a lot of yellow jackets out there representing Fatgum out there. It was amazing.
I'm here too. I actually I have some Fatgum. I have the Funko Pop, and that is what I've signed most of this year is the Funko Pop.
I can only imagine. Did you have any feeling, and because you've done characters for a very seasonable time, did you have a feeling that this character would be as popular as it was the minute that you saw, especially with American fans?
I was certainly hoping. I know that he wasn't a major character, but I play a lot of underdogs, a lot of side characters, and like pun intended, I guess, with Kiba on Naruto. There's so many Kiba fans, and he's not a major character, but
Right.
when he shows up, he shows that he's just as worthy as any other ninja there, and it's like, oh, that's great. And Kamina and Gurren Lagann, you know, a lot of characters that seem to be making a really, really positive impression on fans. I just saw his character design and fell in love with it. It's like, I don't know if he's going to become popular or not, but it feels great to be associated with this franchise. It's so huge, and it's getting people out of the homes and into the theaters, and it's making, you know, blockbuster box office.
Which I knew it was the minute that I knew that, when I learned that I can watch it up the street and up 2 blocks away from my actual neighborhood, because most of the anime movies that has come out is only played in selected theaters.
Right.
But this in particular, like Dragon Ball Super didn't either. Super Brawly didn't even premiere in, you know, every theater. It premiered in selected theater. This in particular one was the one that was going to play in every theater. And I was like, oh, this is going to make a lot of money. And after going to that panel with 5,000 people in that panel, oh, this is going to make bank. And it absolutely did, you know, as expected. And it was awesome. I was so happy to hear everybody that I know come on there and do their roles. You know what it reminded me of?
What's up?
I felt like it had a Transformers the movie 1984 vibe to me. In a sense that you got to see all of your favorite characters from the original series. And then on top of that, you got to see new characters that you never saw before that interest you as well. And it was like you had this big threat that came about. And it wasn't exactly they were facing Unicron by any stretch, but it was like threatening enough that, you know, the whole aspect of it, with the humorized whole aspect, it was just awesome that it just felt like it was definitely an epic type of end game-ish type of thing going on here. And it was awesome. It was awesome. It was great to hear all of you guys in there too.
Well, it's great to be a part of it and continue. And I always say this on every interview I do. I mean, without the fans, we wouldn't have this awesome opportunity, this awesome job to help a property go worldwide and reach a much bigger audience with the English adaptation. So
absolutely,
thank you all for the support.
Absolutely. Now, you also, going away from anime real quick, you're also, you know, have your own podcast called the Intergalactic Boombox, where you talk about, you know, news and pop culture while entertaining all of us with an assortment of fun character portrayals. And you also have a Twitch, show that you do as well called Gohan with Your Own Bad Self. Love it. What led you to start doing these shows?
I think with the pandemic, a lot of people were just getting a little stir crazy and they wanted to do something fun and creative. And I saw that a lot of voice actors were already on Twitch. And it's like, well, let me just read up, do a little research. And I'm like, okay, what is a capture card? How hard is it to really do this setup? And it's like, oh, this is much easier than I thought. But I did have to update some things. I had to get a new laptop that was current and that could run OBS,
right,
and all that. And it's like I was able to go to affiliate pretty quick, which was nice. But I don't have a lot of traffic, unfortunately. I stream 3 times a week, but I seem to get more hits on the on-demand version than. So maybe it's not the best time when I.
Oh no, I get it too. I get my, you know, especially on this show, I get more fills and heavy, you know, traffic on one thing, and then some things are a little bit more challenging to start up. So I get it.
Oh yeah, it's hard to find the little thing, and then I see TikTok picking up. So now, even though I've had a TikTok, I was like, what do I post? And then I see others and get ideas like, just be funny, just be yourself, just do lines from your characters. Those things they practically go viral. It's like Miley Flanagan just doing a line from Naruto, and it's like hundreds of thousands of like, oh wow, okay,
right. Oh, that Miley.
Yeah, true facts.
Which makes me feel bad because she's on there and I'm not. It's like, what am I doing?
You need to be. I hear that podcast, TikTok is a great way to promote podcasts.
I will listen to. And you know what's even funnier too? Not only you talked about doing capturing too. Amanda C. Miller's sister gave me a capture. Capture card, and I have not yet used it yet.
Oh,
And I'm just wait. I feel like I'm trying to play double dutch where I'm just waiting to jump in the right opportunity to do it. So I'm definitely gonna jump on eventually and start doing Twitch and everything and try to, embed my video gaming into it. But I have my PS5 over in the other room. I have it here. I got my Nintendo Switch here. It's like I'm trying to embed all that in. It's just, when you're the one man band in studio, it's hard to just keep adding on this content, But I enjoy every bit of it. So I heard your podcast. I absolutely enjoy it because I love the voices that you do.
Oh, thank you.
I love the subject matter that you talk about as well. And it's really enjoyable. Like, everybody talks about what's going on in pop culture and everything, but you add an extra layer, an extra, form of depth to it. That's very entertaining.
Oh, thank you.
I really recommend anybody to check this out.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's kind of a callback to my old DJ on-air days with Radio Disney and even my old rock station that I was on before Radio Disney, where it's like it's energetic. I'm trying to be a little bit quirkier instead of just like I'm reading the news. It's like, no, I have opinions and I'm going to go into different voices because I'm a voice actor, and then I'm going to have multiple personality disorder and just have these other characters that I've created because I don't want to get into copyright infringement. Right. And I'm going to edit them in such a way that it sounds like I'm in a room with people overlapping and all that stuff. So it creates a little bit of a headache, to editing wise, but
trust me. Together. As somebody who also uses Adobe Audition, I absolutely understand what you're doing and how it's being done. God bless you for that.
Yeah. But I tell you what really lit the fire under my butt to get back into podcasting was this movement called Podcasting 2.0. And this is something that Adam Curry, an old MTV VJ back in the day, he is credited with being one of the inventors of podcasting. They called him the Podfather. So him and his coding friend, Dave Jones, have been doing this podcast for a year, 2 years about this project. We're going to take podcasting to the next level, and we're going to integrate cryptocurrency to where we're going to have a new streaming model to where you can listen on an app and stream little bits of Bitcoin called Satoshis, little micropayments, little pennies on the dollar. And as you play it back, it streams to the podcaster. So there's no middleman. There's no Patreon or anyone else taking a cut. And
write this down.
Yes. Yeah. I'll talk to you off air. I tell you, man, newpodcastapps.com. You can download any of these free apps. And I guarantee you're going to find things you can do that you can't do on Apple, you can't do on Google, you can't do on Spotify. Wow. All the big games in town are not doing things like images and chapters and this ability for podcasters to monetize, and you can send custom messages and as you're streaming these little amounts. I mean, you might spend a quarter. If you want to send $50 or more, you can, but if you want to send a nickel, it's all up to you. It's a concept called value for value. What value are you getting out of this show? And if you are doing that, you can do it back by time or talent or treasure. Take a little bit of money and move some money into a wallet within the app, and it's really easy to hook all that up, and it's just done. It's just done, and it's amazing. And I've been able to monetize a little bit, but I see how it works, and it's exciting. It's cool. I have people that are using Podcast 2.0 apps, and it's great. I've been using a host called Buzzsprout, and they've been awesome. They've integrated some of these 2.0 features, so I'm able to easily create chapters and upload images that display while you're listening, so you can look, and then the link will be
love that. I love that idea. That is right up my alley too.
Yes.
Let me tell you, one of the most favorable things I love about interviewing you is that you always keep me on point with tech. It never fails. It's rather we already on point by having the same tech, or we're always in sync by using the same things or whatever, but you always greatly one up me, and I am very happy that you do because I learn new things from you.
Yeah, see, and you can get your audience maybe scratching their head at first and they're like, what is 2.0? What do you mean sats? Oh, Satoshis? What is a Satoshi?
Right.
It's part of Bitcoin. Well, I don't know anything about Bitcoin. No, it's okay. The app shows you what to do and get set up, and it's not like, well, a Bitcoin, $60,000. Like, no, micro. 0.00001 of a penny. that you're streaming online through the cloud, through the magic to the podcaster. And this is going to be the future, man, for bands. Think about this. You're listening to a song and an album distributed as a podcast, and you're listening and you're saying, I love this song. I'm going to send more money for this song to the singer because he did a great thing, or just to the guitarist because that solo's killer, or just to the whole band. And maybe to the podcast host or someone on the tech side. Like, here's a 5% split. Here's this, here's that. It's like tipping 2.0. You know, really? It's a new way to monetize that's really, really exciting. And I think as the tech gets better and people are able to still monetize what we call fiat currency, dollars.
Right.
You know, as we do that and people are still kind of sticking to that model, you know, if we can get credit card companies, Visa, MasterCard, and all that on board with this, think about that, man.
Right.
Just boop. I'm supporting your show by listening to it, setting the little fader dial on 10 sats a minute or 100 sats a minute, and I can hit a boost button when you say something that entertained me or I thought was, I agree, boost, and then suddenly you get 5,000 stats or something. And hey, it's just cool to see.
That is awesome. So another thing that I enjoy about you is your social media platforms, because you use your social media platforms in the most positive way more than anybody I've ever seen on a daily basis. Like, just you're doing things. I feel like you're doing things just to make your fans and friends and family, you know, to get a laugh throughout the day, or something that's just like the funniest meme ever, or entertaining tweets, you know, with conversations with your wife, Christina. When you post, is it to entertain the fans and friends that you're on with, or is it just to entertain yourself, or just put on whatever you find funny online?
It's like a combination. It's like, I want to share the vibe I'm getting. It's like, I thought this was funny. I want to share this experience with people and feel like, especially in this time of isolation, that, you know, people have some sort of connection. Obviously not the same as our real life friends and family, but there is that sense of community. And the fans are great. And, you know, I want to be able to put a smile on someone's face or entertain them with a voice or a funny clip or a meme. It's like, you know, a lot of times you're just sitting there and it's just sharing because it's viral. It's like, I didn't write it, but I'm going to share it. I'm going to pay it forward because it made me laugh.
And I absolutely think it does the same. Because I know you and I've known you for quite some time. I feel that it's so genuine when you do it. It's not a matter of just trying to get attention. It's really, I feel like you do it just to get people to smile. And every time I go onto Facebook, especially, because the only times it immediately goes, I normally don't go, for people who don't understand, I don't normally go to the news feed, because I have a Facebook group that I immediately just go in primarily, and sometimes my profile for that matter. Secondly, but news feed just pops up out of the blue. And a lot of times your post pops up, and it just, if that's the first thing that I see in the morning time, it's something coming from you that just has me cracking up or smiling like crazy. So that, and I, again, follow Kyle Hebert because you will be entertained, if not for his many talents in the world of anime and video games and more, just with his sense of humor, which speaks volumes through his social media platforms. And it is a much needed sense of therapy sometimes. Do.
Oh yeah. I think my wife is hysterical, and she does not want to be in the limelight. She's like, that's your world. It's like, okay, that's fine. But when she says something funny and I just follow it up with, and tweet. And sometimes it'll be like, and don't. It's like, oh man. It's like,
and they're very relatable too. As a married man myself, I do empathize with, you know, what you tweet sometimes.
Yeah, just trying to showcase. I know that people tend to only show the sunshine, bright, happy parts of ourselves on social media, but I don't look at it. I think that's kind of cold and cynical. I think it's a good thing that we post positive things, because it helps remind people that there's something that we can always strive for, the positivity in all that.
Absolutely.
Everyone is suffering from something. They have different levels of drama. They have different levels of trauma. They have different levels of depression or mental issues that they're dealing with, either genetic or something just caught on. And everyone is going through their own thing.
Right.
And, you know, we know that through the loss of Robin Williams, who made everyone laugh. But it's like we find out posthumously that, oh man, the man was suffering. He was suffering for decades.
Right. Now, you segue right into my next question too, and I'm glad that you did that, because you, as a person, a public figure, and a celebrity in your own self, in your own right, you're absolutely one of the first people that I know that has spoke about mental health, through your own experiences or just in general, and in the well-being of others, which has now become a nationwide subject. Are you happy that the conversation is now widespread?
Yeah, I am. And I think the pandemic has something to do with that, because we see the shift on the news. We see the shift in our media. The movies and TV shows are featuring more and more about depression, its side effects, the positive, the negative. Mental health is becoming a huge thing. I mean, even the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, that was a study in mental health. And it's fascinating. And it's great to see the artists and creators, the directors, the writers, and all that embrace this. And that people are coming forward and realizing and understanding it's like, this is something that should unite us all. We're all going through this. Mental health is something that I've always said, if people get celebrated for working out at the gym for their physical self, why don't they get praised for seeking to fix this? To fix your brain, what's going on in your heart and soul, by talking to a therapist. That used to have such a stigma. It's like, oh, this is my shrink, negative jokey things. It's like, oh, he's crazy.
Right.
Like, no, everyone has something, and everyone has something to benefit. And like, God, if I wish the school system would make mandatory not just your core subjects, but have counseling and therapy.
I would have embraced. In fact, I actually did go to therapy when I was in high school. Not through school, but like through my own means. I grew up with a dysfunctional situation.
Sure.
So my mom knew that she wanted to make sure that I was okay. So we did pursue therapy for, and I was able to talk it out from there. And that I think that was helped me want to do couples therapy in the very beginning of my marriage, to make sure that we know, because we got such diverse backgrounds, that we can know how to handle situations in the case of, and of course it's been 16 years. So that, kudos to that.
Right.
I remember that our couples therapist, he said something very similar to what you just said. He said, I don't understand why people do not have a problem with, trying to cure the common cold, but you can't cure the common relationship. And it just makes all the sense in the world. They're a suitable, professional, form of therapists, doctors, whatever, that can, help men's situations.
Yeah.
So I think this is an ideology, especially in my, culture, in my community, that hopefully that the subject is starting to come up. But I'm very happy myself that it has happened. I'm also happy that you were one of the first people that was brave enough to actually speak out on it before it became a thing. In this case.
Well, it's empowering to admit to yourself that it's okay to not be okay, and that there are resources that are free to low cost to expensive for every sliding scale there is. There's lots of great resources online. NAMI, the North American Mental, I forget what they stand for, but they are a resource. NAMI, NAMI.
Right.
Look at NAMI.org, and you can enter your zip code and find all these low cost or no cost counseling and therapy. It's like, oh, I can't afford it. I don't have insurance. It's like, no. If now is better than ever, a chance to embrace and find all these great resources and get to the bottom of
get to the bottom of it before you get to the bottom.
Yes. Yeah. To recognize the signs, we don't want to have to hit rock bottom, but know that the love and support of people, your friends, your family, your coworkers are always around you. Even the kindness of strangers, that totally exists. There's people that are chomping at the bit. They've studied, they've gone to college, they've got masters because they're dying to help you.
Right.
They want to help you get your life together. and pick up the pieces that were shattered from an early childhood trauma or something in your current situation, and putting a positive spin on that, doing things like different approaches like cognitive behavior therapy. Cognitive behavior therapy is deconstructing. If I do this behavior, what's positive going to come out of it? What's negative going to come out of it? And if I don't do this, what's the positive going to come out? And you sit there and deconstruct things, and you get to the point where it's just auto. It's just like blinking. It's just like breathing.
Right.
And the more you do that, you see the warning signs, and you can avoid a lot of mistakes and poor choices.
I lived through that. I can vouch for that. I can co-sign for that.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We're human. We are inherently flawed. We make a ton of poor decisions and things that we regret. We're filled with guilt and shame and embarrassment, and it's like you can only wallow in that for so long.
This misconception of perfection is crazy. Like, where did that start, and how do we finish it?
Right. Now, when you see a perfect picture of happiness on social media, don't think that, that person's lying to you. That's just one aspect of that person. They wanna be seen. They wanna put themselves out there. It's like, this is a goal I'm reaching towards. Right. I had a good time at this gathering. I enjoyed this pizza. Whatever. I'm gonna put it out there, and we're gonna get through the tough times to get to awesome memories like these.
Absolutely. And I tend to try to at least put that form of reality in every once in a while with the other stuff, and just try to keep moving. I always try to invite people to open up and try to open up, and I try to have a safe place to do so, and a support system to do that as well. But definitely, I am so happy that we're getting into this state, and I hope that it gradually goes on as years to come. But in terms of my case, thank you for doing what you did and doing what you've been doing in terms of that, the entire time.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think it's exciting to when I'm watching on YouTube nowadays, because I don't really watch TV on live TV, but I'm seeing celebrities speak about this. And it's like, there's such power in that, because so many people are fans of these people for whatever reasons. They're entertainers or they're politicians or whatnot. Yeah. And they hold on to every word. And it's like, whether we like it or not, we are a role model of sorts in the entertainment industry. And it's like, we have the power to inspire and do something positive. And if you have that opportunity, why would you squander it?
And a role model doesn't mean you this need for you to be invincible.
Right. You are not suddenly obligated to be perfect and all that. It's good to just understand you are human. You're not a superhuman. Yeah. Put it out there and remind people. It's like, hi, me and you, we're all equal. We all go to the bathroom. We all have drama. We have bills to pay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're poor or rich or in between. Everyone has the same kind of human experiences.
Right.
Different levels, but they're all there, and they all affect this.
Right. Absolutely. So with that said, we're going to end this off with a bang, because I got some quick questions that I want to ask. Ooh. And a lot of fun questions. I'm really interested in seeing what's the first thing that's going to come to your mind when I ask. Are you ready, sir?
Oh, hit me.
All right. Let's start off. What character do you enjoy playing the most?
I enjoy playing, probably Ox King, because this goes back to me being a kid wanting to do cartoon characters. And I think Ox King, he's the biggest cartoon character I've ever done. I believe he's just so derpy, and he doesn't take himself seriously. And I think he just puts a smile on everyone's face. He's like this big dork. He's big, lovable, like Gigi. I just love doing that.
A gentle giant, if you will.
Yeah. It cracks the directors up anytime I have to do Ox King dialogue, and I love being able to crack up a director.
Which, by the way, you in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the Future Trunks season, I loved it.
Nice.
Loved you in that, and I loved you. Obviously, when you play Ox King on there too, it's just enjoyable to say, like, I knew this guy, and he's so awesome.
It's a blast, and that was one of those things that, hey, I got to do it from home. Some of it I did do in a studio, but then Then it hit, and then it's like, oh God, what are we going to do?
Right.
And everyone's scared and nervous. It's like, we're going to record from home, and here's a game plan. And all the engineers.
Was the Future of Trunks DLC all done at home?
God, at this point, I don't remember.
I love that you all do so much that it just like, especially if you worked on shows like One Piece that's in 1,000 right now, or like Bleach, or this was like 400 somewhere, Naruto that was like 400. It's like, I don't look, you know more than I do at this.
The fans always will. You know, I can now hide behind my age. It's like, I'm 52, man. I can't remember anything. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
It's awesome. All right, moving on. Funniest or weirdest sound effect you had to record in studio?
I did. There was a YouTube series. It's aimed towards kids. It's called Grocery Gang. Gross as in gross out. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of gross out humors, you know, farts and squishy things that make kids go hee. Right. And I played a character. I totally forgot the name of the character. His name might have been Squish or Splat or something that sounded like a sound effect, but he didn't speak English. He just spoke with a splatty, squishy thing. So Tony Oliver was directing me, and he just says, knock yourself out there. What do you think he should sound like? And I'm like, it's like, okay, we got him. That's him. And I'm sitting here, and all the cast is there too, because it was recorded not as an anime, but like a prelay, a cartoon where you lay down the audio first and then it's animated. So everyone's cracking up. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting paid to make sounds. They pay me to do this? For real?
Whereas everybody else, if they do it and then somebody looks at you and looks at you back and says, you're a damn fool.
That's right. You do that as a kid, your teacher says you'll never amount to anything in life. Exactly. And then you come back, it's like, guess what? Guess what I'm doing for a living, Mrs. Johnson?
In this day and age, we can make noise like that while playing video games and reading comic books because you get paid for it all now. You do. And you could just throw it all on stream, on a Twitch stream or whatnot, and sit there and, you know, I could sit there and play a game and narrate the cutscenes as celeb voices. Exactly. We can all entertain ourselves during a pandemic. There's no problem. All right, next question. Moving on. Best game you played this year? Well, I'm a hardcore. I'm getting you before 2001 is over. 2021, I should say. You are. Right now, I'm all about Call of Duty Vanguard, and before that, I was with the previous Black Ops 4. Right. Golly. The one that it got you like deeply involved, probably even a little emotional in the midst. Well, I don't really get involved in the story when I'm playing these first-person shooters. I just play online, right, and listen to podcasts and keep the game volume turned down and just casually shoot people. Which is why I don't play, because I'm usually the first ones out. Oh yeah, I'm terrible. I'm terrible on FPS. I am awful. I'm the first guy to die always. Like Operation Meat Shield. Like, but I have fun. I find it to be relaxing. So yeah, there's definitely things that make me frustrated. Like I love Cuphead, but man, I want to just throw the controller to the TV. I respectfully own it, but I have still yet to finish it. I cannot talk about, mental health. I cannot allow myself. Can't even. Until they get a God mode or something for the game, there's no way. I appreciate the animation. I love the character design. Once I play it, it's like I need to be in the mood. I just finished playing Metroid Dread, and it's weird because you should be frustrated, but you don't, because eventually you do get through it and you feel some self-satisfaction from getting through these Emmys and whatever. So it's weird, but that's as far as I go. I can't do Cuphead. I play Metroid Dread, and I'm feeling shades. I'm getting a little triggered with Cuphead. Like and then I can honestly say there is a method to their madness with it. It's a little bit old school in terms of their structure, because with all these Metroidvania games that they came out with, it should be a little bit more friendly than it was, but they're sticking to their old school ways. But it's not to say it's impossible. because there is a way. I just wish that they would lead you with more direction in that game. That's my only pet peeve, is that they got you going everywhere but one. In one direction that you need to go.
We are in a day and age where you can put a playthrough video on YouTube, pause it,
which I do,
and see if you, and I do. I got stuck really early on in Metroid Dread, and it's like, screw it, man.
I still miss the Nintendo Power days with the old maps.
Yeah.
I still wish that we had those, because I mean, I love going through YouTube every so often, but I think a map still is a little bit more helpful with me.
We're old school that way.
Yeah.
Physical things.
I guess so. All right. Your favorite wrestler this year?
This year, I'm loving Sammy Guevara. That young man is just rising up through the ranks. He has been a very formidable member of Chris Jericho's inner circle, but that's kind of like busted up into new factions and whatnot. And I think Sammy's where it's at. Now,
I tell you what, that match he had last week with Jay Lethal was unbelievable.
See, I need to go back and see that. I've been missing out. I was like on the road.
It was Jay Lethal's debut match in AEW, and it was classic.
Yeah.
You will, if you love Sammy Guevara, like you say, you will enjoy this match.
That dude, I mean, he's what, 23 or something? He's super young, and the gymnastics and the aerobatic, it's like crazy, just like physics defying moves. Yeah. It's like, I don't remember seeing, the Attitude Era guys do stuff like this.
Oh, they have far evolved. Yeah. I mean, like, you get him, or somebody like Ray Phoenix, who just looks like he came out of a video game.
Yes.
I mean, literally, he looks like one of the dudes from Virtual Fighter or Tekken. And these guys are amazing. And have you been to an AEW live event yet?
I have not. They have not come to the LA area, and I am going to Dallas for Anime Fest, and they're there that Wednesday before, but I don't get there in time to see it. So I'm like, no.
Let me tell you, it is a party. It is this is my second time going this year, and I think I went like in 2019. It was just as great as it was then. It is great now, man. It was awesome. I highly recommend.
I can't wait, because I went to a couple of Raw tapings, and it's like, it was cool, and then it lost its luster pretty fast, and then
that's
my interest in WWE just like,
they're going through some things.
They're going through some things. Meanwhile, AEW takes off, and the first thing that raised my eyebrow was Jericho going over there. It's like, oh, well, I love Jericho. Let's see where this is going. And then suddenly it's this exciting property, and they're edgier and they're exciting. And it's like, oh my God,
right.
This is where it's at for wrestling right now.
It feels so refreshing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a refreshing feeling there.
Yeah.
All right. We talked a little bit about this, but let's go back to it just a bit, because we want to narrow it down to one. The coolest form of tech you purchased this year. Because you are a tech person, and I'm dying to figure this one out. We haven't talked tech in quite a while.
Golly, tech that I bought this year. What did I buy this year?
You bought so much you don't forgot.
I've forgotten. I've gotten things I haven't received in the mail yet. There's a webcam called Illumina that's supposed to have the quality of a DSLR, but it's a USB webcam.
Oh, wow.
I'm really excited to get that. It was a crowdfunder thing, and there's delays. So many delays that people were getting just frustrated. It's like, this is a ripoff. Just admit it. There's no product. But I got a shipping notification, so it is on its way. And
okay, I'm looking forward to seeing your review on this. This is interesting.
I will let you know.
I'm using the Logitech Brio right now, which is a 4K.
Yes.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, you look great. And I've come very close to pulling the trigger on grabbing a Brio, because I want 4K, but when you're streaming on Twitch, they don't even offer that as an option. I don't think, unless you're a partner.
There's a lot of streaming platforms that don't even go as far as 1080, and if they do, they charge you.
Yeah. So
I'm holding off until that's become a standard thing.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm at 1080.
Yeah.
But I'm not at partner, and I'm nowhere close, because I get like 20 people a stream. But like, come on, guys, you're the faithful. I believe in you. I trust you. Oh, but yeah, other than that, I changed my streaming setup. I got some more like lights and
Yeah.
kind of reorganized my little setup area, so it's a little more pro, I guess, looking.
Right.
Not here. This is not where I stream from. This is
Oh no,
literally
no,
my
no. I know.
recording.
I've seen where you stream.
Yeah. It's like I was thinking right as I went on, it's like I probably should have gone on from my setup. Oops. Hi guys. Look, see, I'm human.
No, this is candid. This is we just talked about this. Let them see the real you.
It's the real me. Clothes, there's blankets and pillows and acoustic foam over here. So
There you go.
boom.
2 more questions. These are big ones.
Okay.
Who is Gohan's legitimate father, Piccolo or Piccolo?
Piccolo. Dude, I was about to say it before you finished because it's Piccolo. There's no doubt. No doubt.
I was gonna add Chi Chi, but nah, she's just the overall.
No, she just comes in the room and makes sure that he's doing homework.
Right, exactly.
She's not the teacher. She's just the enforcer. Like,
Hey,
are you studying? Good. Close the door. Piccolo sneaks in. It's like, all right, let's go train. It's like, yay, Mr. Piccolo. And that's what happened.
there you go. And the last question. What are you most thankful for this year?
Dude, I am thankful, to be able to work during a pandemic. Even while things seem to be getting better and we might see the light at the end of the tunnel, we're not there yet. There's still some hot spots. There's still some herd immunity issues and all that. And I am grateful that I'm able to do online signings, to do conventions, to do cameo shout out videos. I'm so grateful for the fans and their opportunity to reach out and help support creators and artists. And it just means the world. And I know it has been just financially crushing for so many people. So if they're able to go through times like this and still put their hard-earned money into something that entertained them or gave them hope or peace or whatnot, that is so humbling and so amazing. So again, it comes back to thanking everyone everywhere for supporting the arts and the people involved in the arts, no matter what phase or slice of the pie that they contribute. Everyone is working hard. Everyone is giving their best, even though they're not all particularly showing in the spotlight, and they certainly deserve to. But the actors, we're just one cog in the wheel,
Absolutely. Well, with that said, I definitely want to thank you, not just for being on the show, not just for your talents, but you have been the genesis of a friendship that I've had for quite a while in the name of Molly Flanagan. It started with you. It started with a tweet, and it started with me reaching out. And I started working with her. She worked with me. I helped her with some design stuff. And we've been friends with her and Lisa ever since. And it's just blossomed into this big thing. But it all started with you.
Aw.
And I can't thank you enough. Just for you giving me the opportunity to talk with me, and just it's just been awesome.
Well,
I mean,
you.
it's just this road, and I have the highest respect for every actor who's ever put their voices onto a mic to entertain us in one of our favorite fandoms known as anime and video games and to that nature. And you guys rock. And absolutely, you rock. So thank you.
Well, right back at you, man. I appreciate the friendship and support and everything you do, man. It's spreading the word far and wide. I feel the love, I feel the passion, and it's wonderful. So let's just spread that love everywhere.
Absolutely. Please give my hellos to your wife, especially. It's been
Absolutely.
a while.
Will do.
My wife and I are thinking of her and all of you guys. A happy Thanksgiving to you. So before we end this off, please let our listeners, let your fans know where to find you.
All right. I'm at Kyle Hebert on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Kyle Hebert VO on Facebook. And
they're changing the name to Meta anyway, so you might as well just change it.
I'm on MetaBook. I'm on MetaFace. Oh my God. I'm Gohan with Your Own Bad Self on Twitch. And I'm most active on Twitter though, at Kyle Hebert. And if you want to check out my podcast, The Intergalactic Boombox, they're all about 10 minutes each, so it's a short time commitment. And hopefully you'll think it's fun and entertaining and funny and an interesting spin on pop culture geek podcasting, because it's just me and the voices in my head. So give that a shot. It's everywhere podcast can be listened to. So just remember the Intergalactic Boombox, and you can follow the Twitter for that at BoomboxPod. And thank you, Mr. Dax, for all the opportunities there.
Absolutely. And with that said, we're going to end this off on a great note. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this very special Thanksgiving episode, we can might as well call it, with myself and the one and only Kyle Hebert. That will do it for us. On behalf of myself and Kyle, all I got to say is learn to let go, live life, and love all things anime, comics, movies, and games. This is A.C.M.G. presents Talk Time Live. We are out of here. Take care and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.